Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 8 of Direwolf20's FTB series. I'm very close to upgrading my Mobius fuel to Eternalist fuel, which will be super cool and exciting for me to do. Let's go see what's up. So, are you done over here now? Nice, it just upgraded. Eternalist fuel. So let's go teach it to the tablet. Which, by the way, I could have just crafted with 4 Mobius fuel, which I could craft from 4 alchemical coal, which I could craft from coal, but it was easier to put it in there and walk away for a few minutes. So now I think I've got every type of fuel available to me, which is exciting and very cool. Nice. Now these guys are going to continue to generate EMC passively, which is cool. Go EMC, go, as will you. So they'll both kind of do it. Now I could put these guys next to one of those chests that automatically create stuff and like create items. So that's an option and not a bad one, mind you. So like they can share EMC, right? So I could just put them next to this chest and it would like slowly generate bone meal. Or whatever I want to have it generate. But for now we'll just kind of let it do its thing. So how much for dark matter? 8 Eternalist fuel. So that's actually quite a bit. So I've got really kind of 2 options there. So I could also go with a Klein star, which would be like one of the first things that you might want to get. I'm thinking it might be time to make one, because Klein stars are cool. They're basically batteries for EMC, and there's different versions of them. So like you can make a Klein star. 4 of the first tier Klein star makes the second tier. 4 of the second tier makes the third. 4 of the third makes the fourth. 4 of the fourth makes the fifth. And 4 of the fifth makes the sixth. And these are the amount of EMC that they can store. So this guy can store 24,000 EMC, and this guy can store 25 million EMC. Which is a lot of EMC, if you really think about it. Because we've been dealing with, thousands and tens of thousands. Even the second tier is a pretty good amount. And they also have an EMC value themselves, as you can see. So you can just go ahead and make it directly, which is also kind of neat. But let's try and make a Klein star. So I want to say that I should perhaps have enough stuff. Let's see. I used up a lot of gunpowder lately, and it looks like we haven't gotten a huge amount since. But that's okay. Let's see what we got. So if I drop you in there, that gets me 1 Mobius fuel. You guys probably won't get me much more, will you? 2 more. That's not terrible. Let's do half a stack of gunpowder here. Cool. And this guy I can turn into 4. Alright, that's good. And then just a diamond, right? So, diamond. Do I have the stuff to make a diamond? Probably by way of copper, maybe? No, there's no way that's enough copper for a diamond. I'm going to need to steal some bone meal. But that's why we have a dark room. I'm thinking having a Klein star will help because it'll allow me to convert very easily between matter and energy in the transmutation tablet. And I will show you how as soon as I craft one. So 1 diamond surrounded by 8 Mobius fuel should get me my Klein star. Nice! Tier 1 Klein star ready to roll. Now I think if I just pop that in there, first off it learned it, so now I can make Klein stars, but note that as soon as I place the Klein star in there, first off, it absorbed it. So the Klein star is currently holding 2,900 EMC. Cool. Second off, we can easily pull out either fuel or matter. How cool is that? And then we can just drop items in here, and you'll see that the little damage bar on that thing fills up. And that's pretty cool. Now, shift clicking, still no good. Really wish I could shift click that dude. Now that's, okay, that's how much it costs to make the EMC value. I don't know how much it can hold necessarily. We'll find out. Maybe 64,000? Does that sound like a number that we're approaching? That is a mathematical number that makes sense? Probably. Nice. Okay. Oh, EMC 50,000. All right, so that's how much it can hold. 50,000 EMC. That's cool. So we can make another Klein star, or 2 even, with the amount that I currently have in the table. Close to 2. Maybe not quite 2, but almost 2. Oh, no. Definitely 2. Definitely 2. Yeah, we have way more than 2. Nice. So that's cool. So that's a thing that's exciting. We can also charge it up over here. So were this thing not full, we could drop it into that energy doohickey and charge it up. So now that we have that much stuff, dark matter is 130,000 EMC. It's a diamond block surrounded by 8 Eternalist fuel. So you can make how many diamonds? 6. Good to know. Sweet. Okay. Very cool. That's so neat. Alright. So definitely needing to get more stuff. Let's do this to make life a little bit easier for me right at the moment. Kind of want dark matter just to speed up those energy collectors. Might be kind of cool. Alright, so let's start converting you. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll let this guy convert down to diamonds. We'll toss these guys in here. So now, because we have the Klein star, we can use bone meal to get fuels. Very cool. Or any item, right? We can convert any item to fuel and any fueled items and back and forth, right? So totally nifty. Let's let this thing convert and we'll be right back. So guys, that converted down to 19 diamonds. Nice. Alright, so let's snag one piece of bone meal here. We'll turn this on. And we'll target bone meal again. Cool. That's a lot of diamonds. Where'd you come from? It's a little concerning. I thought I was pretty well lit here, but I guess not. Alright, so you to you. So we'll get a block of diamond. And we'll convert the rest down to whatever makes sense. Iron, I guess. And then wood. That'll do. Nice. Alright, so so dark matter needs 8 Eternalist fuel. Not terrible. I think I can pull that off. Eternalist fuel. Just take it in and out to remove the lock. In and out to remove the lock. 2 more Eternalist fuel. We'll get the rest as glowstone, iron, wood, whatever. It's all good. Well, actually, I want to keep it low in there, so we'll just do this and this. Cool. All right, so first things first. Let's make our first piece of dark matter. Hooray! And teach it to the table. Hooray! And then we can sleep through the night. Cool. And I should really like... One of these days I'm just going to walk right off the edge there. And there goes my Klein star that I just made. And my dark matter. Not that it would be the end of the world because, you know, things and stuff, but... There we go. So dark matter opens up a lot of opportunities for us. So I can put my Klein star in here, by the way, and it'll charge it up using the EMC inside the collector. Cool. Nice. And this thing, you know, we could fill him up too if we wanted to. Super cool. And then I should be able to make you with dark matter on top and a bunch more glowstone makes matter collector Mark II. Awesome. Which, by the way, I could easily convert back to an energy collector if I wanted to, right? Like, I could just be like, energy collector, and get back my stuff, and everything's cool again. I can make it back into dark matter. So if I decided I didn't like the Mark II collector, no biggie. So look how much faster this thing collects. Bo, that's awesome. That is super cool. So super amounts of EMC collection. The other thing is it can hold a lot more, if I recall correctly. Right now it stopped because it's converting it all into there, right? So that's neat. It's transferring it across. So that's tier 2. That's tier 1. Definitely a lot faster EMC collection. And there's even a collector Mark III, but that, pretty brutal. There's also the relay. I'm trying to remember what relays do. Antimatter relay. What did you do? Do you just convert items directly into energy? Maybe? I forget what the relay does. Half of me is tempted to make it just to remember what it does. I mean, I think we could, right? We have the stuff for it, and we could always convert it back. So I think the next thing I want to start working towards is some automated forestry machines. However, there's going to be a several-step process to be able to get what we want. So first things first. I mean, it's not really super... I could probably do this. Let's see. So there's a couple ways to go about what I want to do. First off, I want to have a couple different farms. I want to have a pumpkin farm probably, and because how much EMC are pumpkins? So pumpkins, 144 MC. That's not terrible by any stretch. That's actually pretty good. So we want to have two things. We want to have a pumpkin farm, and I would like to have a tree farm, because tree farms are pretty good for EMC generation too. Plus, loads of wood. Can't complain, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And at some point soon I'll automate this. And I think the next quest we get might unlock the ability to have RP2 pneumatic tubes. And once that's done, we can fully automate that bone meal farm and like there's no more manualness. But I want to get a tree farm up and running. So to do that, as I recall, we're going to need humus, which is either fertilizer, which requires apatite, which doesn't have an EMC value, neither does fertilizer, or ash, which is smelting of peat, or I think it's a side effect of the peat engine as well. Or I can make compost. Oh, that's easy. Wheat. Okay, cool. Dirt and wheat. Does that have an EMC value? No, I didn't think so. Neither does the ash. Neither does the humus. Okay. So that's cool. So dirt and wheat. So I could do a wheat farm first, or I could just, you know, grow one piece of wheat, EMC it, and make a bunch of compost that way. You know, either way. Kind of feel like a wheat farm first would be fun. All right, so let's do a farm. So farm requires bronze, glass, and a sturdy machine, which is a bunch of bronze, okay? And then the other thing I'll need, as I recall, is a combine, which is iron in that. So why don't I craft these two items, and then we'll figure out how to power them. All right, so let's set up our farms. So like, let's say I put a farm here. I tested this in a single player world because I didn't remember the dimensions, and I remember now because I tested it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where it's going to come out to. That shouldn't be too bad, right? Yeah, it should be doable. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wow, that's perfect. Ha, nice. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This should be the dimensions of the farm that we create. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neat. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to want to do is probably have biofuel going, because I think that's the best fuel source to use on this map. I mean, we could just use coal or charcoal for now with steam engines, but eventually we will probably want to get biofuel, and that means I'm going to want to remember how that works. So that's a thing. And I'm pretty sure wheat's an ingredient in that process. I don't remember the exact way it worked back now. Back in the day. That's cool. One more row. All right, I'm gonna build out this platform and we'll be right back. So just for the record, in the time that it took me to build out that platform, we made almost a diamond's worth of EMC in our dark matter guy. And some of that was nighttime. Pretty cool. All right, so platform's built, ready to roll. Let's build the machines that we need and then also look into power gen. So we're going to want a farm first and foremost. That's going to plant the seeds that we want, right? So that's going to just be a bit of bronze and some glass. That doesn't sound terrible at all. Let's take our Klein star, which I was not carrying around with me while I was out there, because that would have been silly. So the trick is to take the item from the bottom. That's usually the item that's worth the least amount of EMC compared to everything else, usually-ish. And then place it in the middle, and that'll retarget the stuff. So we'll want like a handful of bronze. I think we're going to need about a dozen, but I'm going to get a few extra. Let's get like 30, because I know I'm going to need some more. And then we can also burn that piston back into the Klein star. Sweet. Also, you notice I got rid of the cobble gen, right? Yeah, I figured you guys noticed that. That wasn't too hard to notice. All right. So that's the bronze. Then we just do that. I knew I would derp that up. Sweet, farm, ready to roll. All right, the other thing we're going to need is an engine. So there's 6 types of engines. The redstone, which generates almost nothing. The steam, which is pretty slow, but only runs on coal. Combustion, which can run on stuff. Biogas, right. So how do you make biogas? Do we know how to make biogas per this dude? No. And there's also biofuel. Okay, biocell. Right, we're gonna have to remember how to make biogas. I'm gonna probably just have to look that up, but that's okay. For now, let's go with a steam engine, just because. So we can probably. Can I get a piston out of you? I can. Sweet. And we'll just convert that back into brass, I guess. Bronze, whatever. All right, so that's good. Piston, couple stone gears, glass, and cobblestone, right? That'll at least be a foundational power source. Cool. The other thing we're going to need a bit of is dirt. So let's target you and get as much dirt as we can. 4 stacks, I want to say, should be sufficient. And then we're also going to want seeds. A decent amount of seeds. Which, ironically, we're making over in our thing, but 2 stacks should be a good starting point. Cool. Okay, good deal. Let's get some torches and some cobble. Nice. All right, that should be a good starting point. So let's go see. We should probably light up this area just to make sure that we're not spawning mobs anywhere. Totally missing that nifty thing. All right, so I think the way this is going to work, put this dude here, put this guy here. I could probably have used some charcoal, which I'll just convert some gunpowder into. Fuel, charcoal, done. And a lever. Cool. So you go in there, you kickstart that, and then we put dirt and seeds in. And that should be all she wrote. So that should start planting the farm. And we'll know that it's working when dirt disappears from inside here. And go dirt go. The steam engine's pretty slow by comparison to some of the other engine types. I mean, you've got peat fired, you've got electrical, which, you know, frankly, we've got some IC2 power. Electrical might be better. I'm just trying to remember if that required a circuit board or not in 1.2.5. Didn't Forestry have the need to make circuit boards or something like that in order for electrical engines, or was that later on? It might have just been later on. Yeah, I'm not seeing any kind of circuit board or anything. So that could be cool. I could do an electrical engine here. I'm trying to remember if they had. So if we did an electrical engine. So did you start planting yet? Wow, you're that slow. Awful. Electrical engine, let's talk. You require tin gear, piston, and tin. Doesn't sound too bad. That's enough. No, I need more. I need 4 more, right? That should be sufficient. And while we're in here, let's get ourselves a piston. And tin gear, I want to say, is an upgrade from stone gear, right? Yes. Cool. Alright, so you to you. That did something. to you. And I don't remember what the values of any of these things are. Do you have a battery slot? You do not have a battery slot. But what I could make with you is... Wait, what? Negative 15,000? I don't know how I did that, but let's get some more EMC. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, so good news and bad news. My farm finished planting, but I forgot that it places water down, and I totally got pushed down into the void. Whoops. That's okay. One death, not that big a deal. Luckily, I had placed my Klein Star electrical engine and diamonds into this chest before I started going over and messing around the void, so my bad. Oh well, I think I lost a couple things like wrenches or something, but hey, the farm's working, which is super cool and exciting. Nice. All right. So electrical engine. I was going to do some thinking about how to do stuff. So there's a couple things we could pull off here. I actually want to go look up the numbers that I need to know about the electrical engine. So let's come back in a second here. All right, I looked it up and I remember now. Electrical engines, totally really not worth it. They produce 2 MJ per tick, which I think is the same amount as the steam engine I've already got. So I think my best bet here is biomass. So that's made in a fermenter with water or liquid honey or apple juice, which, by the way, once I get a tree farm, apple juice might be more doable. I mean, there's also EMC, right? So that's also an option. I think apple juice you get from the squeezer, right? Yeah. All right. But they all require MJ. Yeah, remember megajoules, Minecraft joules, MJ? Back before RF. Whew, that takes me back. All right, so let's think. So we want a biogenerator. We want a biomass engine. We want to make biomass. Biomass is made in the fermenter. Doesn't seem too bad. Let's look into making some of these things while my wheat grows. What do you say? So let's get our Klein Star filled back up with diamond power. Whoosh. And electrical engine, I might just put you in here with, I don't know why wood's in there, but it doesn't belong. Okay. Remember not to leave your Klein Star on the table. When you close it, it does drop. Meh. So what we want to make here then is some bronze, which, do we have any hanging out here to use as a target? No, but iron should work. Yeah. Probably want like a bunch of bronze. Half a stack should do. Ish. All right, so let's do that. So the first thing we'll make is the fermenter. So that'll be sturdy machine, bronze gears. Trying to remember what the boost you get from apple juice is, because I know that's an option. But let's start with water, and then we'll go from there, okay? So that, and then a couple gears. Right, the fermenter was the one that needed gears? Yes. Cool. And then the gears were in the corners? Yes. And we're also going to need some glass. Cool. So gears in the corners, glass elsewhere, fermenter, nice. Now I think I can get buckets, but let's see what the UI looks like. Kind of familiar, looks familiar, and I think a bucket can go there. Or a can, which cans are made with just 3 tin makes 12 cans, that ain't bad. These have an EMC value? They don't. Anything crafted, I remember, doesn't have an EMC value. I think back in this version it was just like, you get what you get. So I don't think I've learned wheat yet. And for now, I don't have the combine. So back in this version, the block that places the farm doesn't also harvest the farm. So that's a thing. You may have a little bit of residual energy stored in there, but we can totally teach you how to make wheat. Cool. So if we got a stack of wheat, just to kickstart things, You go in there. And then we need, let's see, either apple juice. I think water can be used for a basic. And then fertilizer, compost, or mulch. So fertilizer, nope. Compost. Yeah. So that, let's take half of this and turn it into compost. So we'll probably want a stack of dirt. We'll do this. We'll put you in there. And we'll automate all this eventually, obviously. And then bucket of water. Couple buckets of water. So can you go in there? Nice. Okay, cool. So I think all this needs now is, if I'm not mistaken, energy. This is me remembering how things worked back in the day. Yep, that's what's happening right now. Hey, cool, working. Beautiful. Now it's gonna be a little bit slow, but once we get our first bucket of biogas, I think we'll be in really good shape. Now, I don't think that the mouse over will tell me how much we have, but fermenter seems to be running right now, so that's cool. How you guys doing, all right? Easy way to get infinite water, right? Super cool. Hey, we've got a little bit of biogas going. Sweet. All right, let's come back once it's processed a bit and made some. So does this mean we have a bucket? Not quite. We're close. How much was a bucket's worth over here? Let's get a bucket of water and put it in. That moved it up one level. Okay, yeah, so one little notch is a bucket. Cool. So now we've got biomass bucket. Sweet. Now I think the biogas engine is what we can do next. And this will speed up the production of biomass significantly. So let's make one real fast. Biomass engine requires bronze. Gears, we need a few more pieces of bronze, like 2. And we need a couple more gears, which eventually I'll have to make a couple more of. Cool. And then the piston. And a piece of glass. Cool. So piston, bronze, glass, bronze. The other thing I'm going to need, by the way, is lava. As I recall, and believe it or not, I do really remember this. Lava is needed. There we go. Sweet. To kickstart the engine. So let's put you over here. So a bucket of lava goes in and a bucket of biomass goes in, and then a lever. Which I know I could totally craft easily. There, now I have a large number of levers. Cool, so you should start cooking. Go bioengine, go. It'll use a little bit of lava for its initial heat up and then never use it again. So look how much faster that's gonna go. Now this should be producing biomass much more quickly. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look how much faster it is. That is awesome. Super, super awesome. All right, so at some point soon, we're gonna wanna automate this whole process, right? So the crafting of compost, the harvesting of wheat, the turning it into a biofuel. Probably want to do apple juice at some point, but water is probably going to be good for now. Let's get another stack or so of wheat. That should work. Nice. That should work really well, actually. We're going to want to pump water into this thing. Like I said, this won't use any more lava. But that's actually a copious amount of biofuel that we're getting already. So that's actually very exciting to me that we're getting so much. Nice. All right, unfortunately, though, I think we've hit the wrapping up point for the episode. So what we're going to do is come back next time. 23,000 EMC? That's what I call an episode, dude. And this made about 8,000. So what is that, like 3 times faster almost? Pretty darn close. So, I mean, we've got like 4 diamonds worth of EMC just chilling over here. And that thing sitting at 7,000 is almost full, and this thing sitting at 23,000 is almost full. So that's a lot of EMC that just got generated out of nowhere. That's what I'm talking about. I like it. Passive EMC gen. That's what's up. All right, so we're going to wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time. We will create the combine, which I'm pretty sure is the block from Forestry that harvests the wheat, and then we'll work on automating this stuff. Another thing I wouldn't mind doing is working towards getting something that'll help me fly. And I think I'm actually not too far off from getting what I want to get that'll help me fly. It's going to require dark matter, but it's going to require a couple other things that we don't have access to right now. So we'll have to see how to get them. Anyway, Darwolf20 signing off. Hope you're enjoying the series thus far. We will have more FTB Retro coming up soon. All right, guys, take it easy.